Hello, Boost Bash. Just let me make sure that we are completely working here. It looks like we are. The title is going to be a little bit misleading. I don't actually have the ability to change it. It is Camavor versus the Shadow Isles. And we are going to get into draft here. I only am very familiar with one of the players. His name is Sevelin, and he is a jungler. He's played on comp teams before, so I'm interested to see what he's going to pick. His pool is pretty big, but he mains Volibear, and we'll probably play it when we get the chance. Shadow Isles looking here to ban out the mid laner. It looks like the Malzahar, Ari, and Ori all gone. Camavor having a little bit more of a diverse ban list here. Not exactly sure who the bans are directed at. It doesn't look like it's anything specific for this season. It's like from Shadow Isles, we have a first pick Heimerdinger, most likely for wait for it. I would imagine that they are expecting a long range mage here. I guess that this is why Malzahar, Ari, and Ori were banned, just so they can have a clean champion here that doesn't get countered immediately. But the problem is that you can't ban everything that's good into Heimerdinger. So, for example, Syndra is open, but if Camavor doesn't have a good answer for it, then it isn't particularly likely that anything will go bad. For example, Hui is open, so maybe this Heimerdinger is going to be bought, actually, if they do see a counter pick. Although Jinx is another one of those picks that is good in a Heimerdinger, the rockets do easily outrange the turrets, and Heimerdinger doesn't actually have a good answer for them. And for Sevelin, we do actually see the Volibear locked in. It is his best champion, in my opinion. He is quite good at it, but even if you ban it out, he has other champions that are very good in team play as well. So it's kind of just pick your poison. Either he locks Volibear, which he's very good at, or he's going to lock something that's great in team play. Wow. So Shadow Isles, this Heimerdinger, I would imagine. No, I think it's Heimerdinger top, I guess. But I think they can swap, but I'm not entirely sure. But if they do Heimerdinger top, he can still get counterpicked up there. So I'm not exactly sure why they banned out mid completely. Let's see what they do on 3. Draven and Heimerdinger are kind of awkward to play with each other sometimes, though, because Heimerdinger and Draven kind of both want their junglers to hover in case something happens. You can weak side Heimerdinger, but he can have difficulties controlling the wave. And if it gets out of control, he can start to struggle, and Draven really likes also engage supports, and if he gets ganked by jungle, he gets really shut down, especially by something like Volibear. He really needs jungle to match that gank, so it's a 3v3. Camavor on 3. Probably going to lock something for the Heimerdinger, I would imagine, so more things don't get banned, unless they're going to last pick the counter to make sure that they know which wave it's going or lane it's going to. The Lux locked in, potentially a flex pick, but most likely bot. The Lux would actually be another pretty good pick here into the Heimerdinger. Oh. Oh, I see why we first picked a Heimerdinger. Both teams have a Heimerdinger player, which would be the reason, I suppose. That's interesting, actually, that Heimerdinger is very high prio. I was not expecting to see Heimerdinger really high up here in importance. It's not often you see that champion valued so highly. It does look like, though, it's locked in for Bishop. I believe he is the top laner. I'm not entirely sure. So if he is top, that would mean that we should theoretically see a counter pick for it from the top lane. But if you just don't see it, I mean, it can get a lot harder very, very quick here because Heimerdinger can be very, very punishing, especially if you're not familiar with his playstyle, but even more so if you struggle with the wave control or you pick a champion that can't contest the wave, then you just get pushed in the whole game, and even if the jungler comes, it's very hard to play. Tahm Kench, interesting. So it's either support or top. If it is a Lux support, then that is a Tahm Kench top, and I don't know if his Q outranges Heimerdinger's turrets. If it does, that would, I would imagine, be the idea behind it, because if he does heal a lot and goes second wind and Doran shield, booking him down will be quite a nuisance, and he also has an ability to engage on Heimerdinger if his jungler comes, so I suppose it would make sense. Yone looks like, oh no, Aurora maybe for Shadow Isles. They're going quite a heavy engage comp here with a Heimerdinger, it looks like. The question is, though, what do they want to do with the Heimerdinger? Because fighting with it on an engage comp like this is quite difficult, so maybe the idea here is that you lock the Heimerdinger and you keep him in side lane the whole game, and you allow your core of 4 to apply a lot of pressure, while Heimerdinger is forcing 1 or 2 people to match him. The problem is that 1 mage is all it really takes to push Heimerdinger out. So, see how that matchup goes on later in the game. The final pick for Camavor here coming out. See what it is. Yorick. Interesting. Okay. So I guess it is a Tahm Kench support and a Yorick top. I'm not familiar with Yorick and a Heimerdinger. It may be pretty good with the way that Yorick schools interact. But I'm not actually entirely sure. We'll see how he plays it. I would imagine this is something that he had up his sleeve, given he waited a while to pick this to make sure the Heimerdinger was where they thought it was. And, okay, he's not a Heimerdinger player, it doesn't look like, although I'm not actually sure who locked that in. It's a bit difficult to look at the teams here and know which role they're playing. I would need to actually look at the sheet. But I'm not sure how long that would take. I am not entirely convinced that Shadow Isles will ever want to play as 5. Like, if they have the space first on the objective, I suppose, because, you know, you can set Heimerdinger turrets up. If anyone tries to get past it, then you can turn in a engage on them. It'll take a lot of resources to walk into the Heimerdinger. The problem is Camavor has no problems clearing out the turrets in the first place. So it looks like it's probably going to be a side lane angle, but honestly, I think Yorick, as the game goes on, even if the lane isn't amazing, the pick is going to get better and better, and it might be a very good lane pick too. But as the game goes on, Yorick is not only going to be able to, you know, pressure Heimerdinger in the side lane, but he might be able to even do that in 2 side lanes. And then Heim might run into a problem where his tempo is just a little bit too slow, and Yorick can be pressuring a lot more than he can. Yorick can be sort of all over the map in a way. See if he's able to do that. And Shadow Isles, though, this core of 4 is going to have problems dealing with this Volibear. That is a lot of melees. It is Amumu, Leona, and Yon. And Volibear likes playing into these kind of comps. The only person who's going to try to threaten him in the 4v4 engages, if that does happen, is the Draven. But Draven versus Volibear is really hard for the Draven, especially if Volibear times his ultimates correctly, which it is Sevlin on his main champion, so I would imagine it is going to be timed relatively accurately. And if you're unable to CC that Volibear for your Draven, then Volibear is kind of just going to run over everyone on the team. And there isn't a whole lot of damage to stop him besides Yon. But Yon will have to stand in the face of a Volibear and Tahm Kench to get his damage down, which is not only going to be difficult, but if he does go down trying to get a good trade in damage, then he will give Jinx a reset, which is really not what you want to do in these kind of 5v5s. However, in lane, Camavor looks like they're going to be pretty strong both in bot and mid. The mid lane matchup should be pretty Lux favored, if it is a Lux mid, which I would assume it is, because Lux has the ability to just bind him whenever Yon tries to engage, and Yon just kind of has to sit there, take a lot of damage, and then he wants to go back because the timer's going to run out anyway, and he has no other real way to engage on Lux. Bot lane is Jinx Tahm Kench. Not only is it a safe lane, but Tahm Kench normally likes playing into Leona. Jinx doesn't really like playing the Draven that much unless your spacing is fantastic, but because of the support matchup, I would imagine that Jinx is going to be fine, especially because the Volibear has to path down. And Volibear, theoretically, they should be able to win the 3v3 if they're able to get on the Draven. They are loading into game now, so it's going to be about 4 minutes for us. Trying to think if there's anything interesting about these, how these comps will interact before going into Laldal. So I think one of the main things, though, that we're going to see is Camavor is very good at neutral fights. They do not need, in any situation, to walk into Shadow Isles, but even if they do, I think that they might have a bit of an advantage because that Tahm Kench and Volibear are going to be massive problems for the Yone and Draven to take down. And they don't have a lot of damage in the core besides that. And I would assume Heimerdinger's not going to be there. And if Heimerdinger is there, he's going to have to deal with a Jinx ADC and a Lux mid. And his turrets just probably are not going to last very long. Be a little bit shocked here if the lanes aren't what I predict, but I suppose the Tahm Kench or York both could have been picked technically as a counter pick for the Yone. They're not amazing counter picks, but it puts a lot on the Yone to try to outplay that. His spacing needs to be out on point. His ability usage needs to be very good. He needs to use his R's very well, and likely he will never be able to find a kill in lane. The one upside, though, is he will be able to roam if it is one of those tankier mids, but if it's Lux, he's almost never going to be able to roam, really. Lux will be able to clear the waves faster, and if Lux ever loses the prio battle, Lux can just run away and ult the wave, and then maybe look for a roam, look for wards, just back to base. Lots of problems in that matchup for Yone. But Yone, one of these champions, I suppose, that is good in the side lane, so if he gets strong, he might be able to match the Yorick, but I think the ease of execution is way, way easier for York in that 1v1 than it is for Yone. And if the junglers come, I mean, York Volibear versus a Mumu Yone sounds extremely difficult to play. I assume it's just going to be the pets in the side lane, or the champions with pets. It's going to be Heimerdinger York. And the York looks like it was picked very purposefully into the Heimerdinger. They waited last to make sure they knew the wave, or the lane it was going to. And because they know now, looks like the interaction they're playing for maybe is York getting ghouls from the turrets, if I were to guess how that interaction works. But the problem is, Heimerdinger will be able to auto York a lot and force him to use his abilities pretty often, and not give him a whole lot of time to set up when the Heimerdinger doesn't need any time to set up, really, as long as he has his turrets. And York doesn't have an amazing way, honestly, to contest them early. I might be able to do one Laldl. The problem is I am not very good at Laldl. So we will see if I am able to get anything done here. Oh, also, I think Camavor is going to be on the other side that I had them set on. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get absolutely gapped by this. Is there like a half-human, like Kale or something, maybe? Ooh, Kale's first year, though. It's not, yeah, not a great champion. So it is female, not a top, probably human. Demacia, or it's not from Demacia or Targon. Okay. So I'm looking for, I mean, I could just do Samira here, maybe. See what I get from this. Okay, not top, not bottom. I should have done one that has multiple roles. It is mana ranged from 2020. Uh-oh. What champions were released in 2020? Maybe Neela? I have no idea. Okay, looks like we're going to load into game, though. So I don't even have to worry about it. There we go. Sure we have the right settings going into this. There we go. It looks like we are pinging to just 5 point. Not likely to see any huge action level 1. And I think part of this is that both top laners kind of want to get set up. But if they wanted to, as teams, they would technically be able to deploy top and apply that early pressure to the other one to probably just ensure that the Heimerdinger can't get set up, and then maybe the York can just be there. Looks like Sevlin is going to start top and go bot, and we're likely going to see the same thing, actually, from Atomic Ghost here. Playing for this Draven lane is going to be pretty important, honestly, for both teams. And yep, it is the Yorick Heimerdinger top with the Lux support. Now, I'm interested to see how this top lane matchup goes. I think it's going to be really impactful for this game because neither of those champions have an amazing ability to deal with the teams, to be honest. So we will see what will happen. They really need to be strong. And it actually gives this little weird dynamic, too, where both junglers kind of need to play for bot for that Leona Draven lane. But you also kind of want to play for top, so maybe you can sneak a gank in, if possible. But maybe even the more impactful thing might be top, as long as the Draven doesn't get fed, and you just ensure that either he's not strong or that he's just surviving in the case of a Mumu, then maybe you want to try to focus more on top, because as we get later into the game, that's going to be relatively impactful. A little bit of trades here early on. Probably going to be nothing important. Does not look like DJ Parmesan and Barrage want to actually contest this super hard on the 2, which would make sense. The Draven level 1 damage is pretty intense. Letting it be on your side feels pretty good. Although they may have to give quite a few minions here. Or at least 2. There's the level 2. Doesn't back up. Oh, and stunned. Looks like Tal... No, unable to quite catch it. Jinx has to flash away. And Barrage needs to use Exhaust. For fun player using Ignite there as well. That is very difficult for Parmesan to play now because he is so low. You need to look out for the Leona Flash now, which is going to be a massive threat, just not backing up quite soon enough on the level 2. Or maybe it's just the Leona E hitbox, which looked very much on the tip. I'm a little surprised that hit, to be honest. Kind of a calm mid. Yon's going to be able to sustain through a lot, and Lux is not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage until probably level 5, around there. That's kind of how I imagine top lane would go. Not sure if Yorick's maybe going to scale up, maybe buy a Null Magic Mantle, be able to survive a little bit more with most likely Second Wind and Thorn Shield. Trying to take down a turret, not able to find too much, and Spot lane now is feeling the pressure. Atomic Ghost is just not quite as fast as Sevlin, though. So Sevlin able to come bot, release some of that pressure for his bot lane, and Jinx able to pick up a wave here, probably will recall, yep. And Sevlin, because of this really high tempo, able to get Scuttle, and probably recall. He is on vision, but does not look like a play is going to be made on him. Will likely just reset and look to clear top to bot again. I mean, very, very well played, honestly, from Sevlin there. Able to make sure that his bot will survive, able to clear a little bit faster than the Amumu. Although this is actually the harder direction for Amumu to clear. He's faster clearing the other direction, if I remember right. Oh. Jaboy taking just a massive amount of damage and just being forced to stay under turret. This is kind of the problem here. Sevlin can't really interrupt his clear either to relieve pressure here because you need to be on tempo with this Amumu bot. And he doesn't know where Amumu is right now. Amumu just went to the top scuttle. And he is pretty far ahead now of tempo, but I don't think he is aware. Bot lane able to stabilize, and Jinx actually barely behind in CS, able to keep in the game, even with that low health and farming under turret, so very well played from Parmesan there. Hopefully I don't say the Draven's name wrong. I think it's Tai Lao, but not entirely sure. So I guess the thing that Jaboy has really going for him right now is he's able to sustain pretty well so far, and he's actually looks like he's up in health. Not sure what happened since the last time we looked up there, and we have a fight down here in the bot lane. Looks like Forfun and Tai Lao able to find something on Buffalo here, who has to flash away, and will be followed though by Forfun player who still had the E, stuns Barrage. He's trying to reach back to his turret, is unable to get to do anything before Sevlin is here, and Sevlin's actually able to get the kill on Forfun player. Sevlin may try to keep going, but Draven is pretty fast. Still a little bit of trades here in the top lane. Wait for it, able to do pretty well in this mid lane here, because now that Yone, he's just building attack speed now. He wasn't actually able to finish those full boots and he used TP. So Lux may be able to clear these next waves pretty quickly and be able to get prio here in this lane, or just do a lot of damage to Beetle, who is half health at this point. Looks like Bishop had to be the one to TP top first, but in this kind of situation, don't think that will matter too much. I think both of these, I think both of them will be able to honestly teleport back whenever they want, because they just both clear the wave so quickly. Fight here in the river. Forefront player going to try to engage on Sevelin, but won't really find anything. Beetle trying to help, but unable to do too much, is exhausted. Still has flash, may try to get out, and does use it. But Parmesan is here, will get the reset on Beetle most likely. Does have it. Atomic Ghost being chased down by Parmesan. Tai Lao unable to get too far away. Still has flash, has to use it to get away. A very, very good fight. They did lose the dragon, but getting ahead in this kind of situation feels great, especially when the gold goes onto your Jinx. Because when that Jinx gets strong, especially in this game, she has no like immediate threat on her. The only person who might be able to get on her might be the Yone, but Yone has to hit ultimate on her, and Yone also has to somehow get past the Volibear and Yorick to get close enough to find the R, which honestly will be extremely difficult. And even if he gets on the Jinx, he has to be strong enough to kill her in 1E, which may be 2 or 3 items. Forefront player freezing a great lane or a wave here, to be honest. This is great for Tai Lao and for fun here, as the Jinx may miss a little bit, unless they unfreeze, which they could do. Atomic Ghost going on a top to bot clear right now, on par with Sevelin still. We may see the first teleport back. Nope. Jaboy still hanging around. I mean, honestly, as long as he's not 1 health, Heimerdinger doesn't have too much kill threat. The problem is that if he is unable to contest anything from the Heimerdinger, he's just going to lose a bunch of plates. Oh, it looks like he's going to try to kill Bishop here, maybe. Able to find that early E, but he was stunned, so I can't follow up with anything else. He does need to recall here, most likely. He needs to be strong enough to fight the Heimerdinger, so he doesn't keep losing plates like this. Currently sitting on 1,800 gold in the top lane here. He's actually behind quite a bit right now. In fact, the rest of the map, it appears, except for mid, is pretty far behind. And the reason that it looks like they're so far in the game on Shadow Isles is just because of that top gold difference. Wow. A lot of damage coming down from Bishop. So, Jaboy really needs to recall soon. Because if he can't kill Bishop in the 1v1, I mean, if he's getting him this low already, Forefront player actually has to flash away here in the bot lane from Buffalo. But if he's able to almost kill Bishop already, imagine if he had items here. And he doesn't really lose a timer from backing because, again, the wave is already gone, so he could just recall and immediately teleport back. Bishop uses the ultimate to make sure Jaboy can't get out of here, but I actually don't know if I agree with this, because Bishop is quite low, and you don't have that defensive ability now, so you just hope that you don't get caged here. I don't think he's super... Oh, there it is. There's the ultimate from Jaboy. Might be able to solo kill Bishop. Bishop 1 health, but Bishop will go down. Jaboy feels very happy with that, but it still won't cover that gold difference right now that they have. Bishop's... Oh, no! Jaboy doesn't see the Draven ult coming up, doesn't react to it in time, and Tai Lao gets the gold there. He is now 500 gold ahead of DJ Parmesan, who previously was feeling pretty good about this lane. Oh, that just feels really rough for your bot side. At least he did get the kill top there, but the problem is now that bot side is going to be much harder for Jinx to play. Draven is sitting on 1,800 gold now, and top lane is still not caught up. Bishop is still 500 gold ahead. Atomic trying to look for something bot here. Not quite able to get anything. Beetle looking for an engage here mid. Will actually use ult on Wait For It, who has to flash away. Some damage traded back. I suppose trading flash for ult doesn't feel amazing, but at least the Yone won't be able to do anything for a little bit if he tries to get on the map. Which I also suppose is quite good for bot lane, because if Yone goes bot, there is a very real chance the Jinx gets dove. And Jinx kind of right now, you want to make sure that she specifically is quite strong. And I think I've seen this one before. Jaboy just farming on a turret. Bishop clearing over and over again, getting a little bit of autos on the turret here. And a little bit of a problem, actually, on the side of, I believe, Camavor. Is, oh, an engage, actually, from Jaboy trying to do anything to Bishop, but Bishop is quite strong, and Jaboy doesn't have an insane amount of damage. Bishop does have to use ultimate, though. But I would say that trade feels pretty worth it for him. And they might dive Jaboy, who will almost immediately go down here. Oh, he's actually able to live just barely because of the Q. And now both of them are 1 health. Bishop wants to take him down before he gets this wave. Beetle's actually going to stay, but goes down to the Parmesan rocket from spawn. Wow, that feels great for Parmesan. Looks like they're just trading cross-map ultimates on the top lane here. Oh, and here's another one. Oh, Tylo unable to connect that. Atomic Ghost getting run down by Sevlin here. And probably will just go down. I mean, Atomic Ghost trying to hit the blast plant, but unable to actually get it. Accidentally autos the Volibear there, and does go down. Volibear now, his timer is going to feel great because he's just going to clear down again. And he's going to be pretty far, theoretically, ahead of the Amumu. Maybe, actually. Amumu cleared his top and then went to the enemy top, so Amumu could technically deploy bot and then try to look for bot on around the same time the Volibear is going to be down there. And they both could play for that lane again, but I think Volibear at this point is going to be pretty terrifying for anyone to try to deal with. Not sure if they even want to take that 3v3. Oh, so Jaboy here actually is able to get Prio, which is going to be a really big deal as we go into this game, because these two are just going to contest the side lane over and over again. Parmesan and Barrage able to find some damage on Tai. This bot lane always feels like it's very close to a fight that could be important for the game. Wait for it, trying to take down Beetle, but doesn't know that Amumu is here. Will get ulted. Tries to get away. Takes a lot of damage from Atomic Ghost, though. Oh, it tries to trade the ult onto Beetle, but just barely doesn't kill him. Beetle able to avoid death. And that will feel pretty good, but... Oh, and here's another ult. Parmesan barely misses the ult mid there, actually. And another fight top here. Jaboy trying to engage on Bishop has to almost immediately flash away from the turret damage. And again, he is they are looking to dive him. He wants to check the bush behind him, but if he does, he may go down. Sevlin looking to take down For Fun player who is stuck outside of turret. Does still have flash, but will try to flash away. On 1 health, it looked like Tai Lao got stuck by the traps. Jaboy trying to fight top. Does go down. Sevlin, they do dive Tai Lao. Beetle here to try to do anything, but won't find too much. He doesn't have ult to try to get on the Jinx. He doesn't have flash. Jaboy dying top to the dive feels bad because he lost the turret, and also Heimerdinger is able to get this other wave in, and that is with 3 grubs. I think Amumu being here on this timer does feel great, especially with Beetle being there earlier. Now Jaboy under a lot of pressure in this game to make sure the side lanes are stabilized and allowing his Jinx to keep scaling into this game. Now the goal difference between the ADCs is only 300 apart in favor of Draven. Even though Draven is behind 2 kills, he does have 20 more CS and the gold, the extra gold from his passive. Beetle able to get a massive wave in here, bot actually. That feels very good for him. Oh, and wait for it actually trading with Jaboy in terms of lanes. That is such a good idea. I didn't even think of that. This feels actually better maybe to do from level 1, because Heimerdinger playing into Lux is very hard. You almost have to max W and just trade instead of even trying to use your turrets too much, because Lux is so good at taking them down. Bishop sees the trade, though. Will go down to match Jaboy. Exactly what he wants to do. See probably a fight over Rift Herald here. A 4v4. Jaboy does have teleport, and so does Bishop. See if anything happens here. An engage here from Atomic Ghost gets the big ult down. For Fun player going in earlier, able to get a lot of CC down as well. Sevlin, though, very strong in the front line, does so much damage, and they are able to get a lot of resets here onto Parmesan, who is doing so much damage from the back line. Atomic Ghost trying to pick up the Rift Herald, but doesn't actually get it. Bishop now trying to get away. He did teleport up here. Same with Jaboy. He is able to take down Parmesan, but Jaboy is looking to finish him off. Jaboy taking a lot of damage, though. Has to walk away and will go down as well. Now it's Wait For It versus Bishop. And it looks like Bishop is going to go down here. Tries to find something, but it isn't too much. Wait For It taking a lot of damage from the turret, but is okay. He does have his W there. So, altogether, feels like a pretty favorable fight, actually, for the side of Camavor. I need to look up the name again. I do not know how to spell it. Camavor, that's what it is. Okay. Camavor takes I would say a pretty big advantage in that fight because now Parmesan basically has the same amount of gold as Tai Lao, and Tai Lao effectively just doesn't have a passive really at this point if you are even in gold with the enemy ADC. The jungle gold difference as well is 1,000 in favor of Sevlin. And I think those two gold differences are the main ones you're kind of looking at because Sevlin's going to be able to apply this gold difference to the map pretty rapidly as no one is able to deal with him very well. The saving grace for Shadow Isles is this gold difference in the top lane. Bishop is quite ahead of Jaboy. The problem is, though, is that if you're unable to find too much on the side lane or you're matched by Wait For It, you can't really do a whole lot. Looks like we're going to have another fight here over the dragon. Camavor trying to back up. Will not quite get away. Parmesan going to go down really early in the fight, and that's likely going to be a big deal. Sevlin trying to do anything he can, but just doesn't do enough damage without Parmesan there. And Barrage also going down. Jaboy here to try to clean up and does actually find the kill onto Atomic. Hitting Beetle really hard in the head with the shuffle. Actually able to get away here too. And Wait For It is still alive. Both jungles are down. And this feels a little bit risky now, honestly, to go for it. Because that Lux ult will be back for the dragon, and he might try to steal it, but actually, they maybe kill it in time? No, Wait For It will have ultimate. Won't have vision, though, of the drag. Does not even look like they want to look for the steal here. They also have the Jinx Rocket, though. I actually wouldn't be so... Oh! An attempted steal from Parmesan. I'm unable to quite find it. I actually don't know if they thought they were on it or not. Parmesan trying to clean up on the back end here. Jinx is good in teamfights, but not quite as good as Draven in the 1v1. But Buffalo is here, trying to do anything to Tai Lao to stop from hitting Parmesan, and is able to actually peel it. They are... This is 2v4. Oh, 3v3. I think I'm colorblind for the Yone. I probably peeling away from that is good. They don't want to fight on these timers. This is exactly when Shadow Isles is going to be very strong. So delaying this a little bit longer is going to feel good. Gives Jaboy time to come back in terms of gold to Bishop. Oh, and it looks like they will just die with Atomic Ghost, who instantly goes down. They are able to get this top turret. Atomic goes down, not Bishop. And now Bishop looks like he's going to take a lot of damage. Trying to set up in that bush. Is able to fend them off, but won't result in too much more. Barrage able to get away. I'm getting the Yordles mixed up. I'm Yordle racist. It is 0-0 right now, by the way. Unable to get the number counters up quite yet. Buffalo Barrage trying to look for an engage here mid on Tai Lao. Unable to find too much. Bishop teleporting top. They're going to try to do Otacon. It is pinged. Camavor knows that they're on this. Will look to contest. Wait For It. Does not have ultimate or teleport. Won't be here for this fight. Sevlin looking to try to contest it. Won't quite find anything. Oh, Otacon secured by Bishop. It was very low. Bishop instantly goes down, though. Parmesan looking for the reset on Beetle. Will find it. Tai Lao trying to stop it, but is unable to. Atomic for fun and Tai Lao trying to finish off the fight. Parmesan 1 health trying to get away here. Tai Lao flashes, is able to find the E, but oh, bandage toss is connected. Parmesan does go down here, so good, I think, call on the side of Shadow Isles here. You see the Lux bot, and if that was the trigger for them to start Otacon, it was a very, very good call. I think it was a little bit risky, though, because Atomic turned onto Sevlin there to make sure that it wasn't a smite contest, but that means that there's just no smite on Dragon, and it kind of just became a toss-up. Bishop was able to secure it, but that really could have gone either way. Tai Lao actually able to get the tier 2, and he is able to pick up some kills in this fight. He is at 2,500 gold now, ahead of Parmesan. Sevlin looking to shut that down, but it is 1v3. Unable to find too much. Does not look like he will be able to do too much here. Wait for it, and DJ Parmesan, though, with those cross maps. Unable to get quite close enough for the Luxar. Jaboy contesting Bishop mid, but unable to really push out or anything. This bot wave is going to be a problem very shortly. Jaboy running down to try to match it, but he is a little bit low, and Beetle does have ultimate. If he catches Yorick here in the jungle, could be a little bit scary. Finds a little bit of damage, will not use ultimate to engage, but Jaboy does take quite a bit of damage here. Beetle not really wanting to keep going here. I don't think they know where Wait For It is at the moment, so maybe he is scared that the Lux will show. Mid contest right now for both teams to try to get Prio for the next dragon. It is Soul Point, and both teams are reasonably strong. An engage here, though, on Barrage just before it starts. Parmesan peeling. Buffalo able to get away. Jaboy, though, in the side lane. Beetle engaging. Able to find a lot of damage here on Jaboy, and Jaboy will go down. And that is just before Dragon. That is going to be very hard now for Camavor to play, because all of a sudden, Camavor is going to have to play this 4v5. Looks like they are going to give it, though. It is only Soul Point. Bishop looking for a pick here with the ultimate, unable to find anything. Camavor actually posturing a little bit like they're going to contest. Looks like it was just called off, though. Sevlin looking to walk into the top jungle for blue side. Parmesan, wait for it, applying a lot of pressure also to this top side. Looks like they want to do the tier 2, which is a very good call, actually. It's an excellent call to flip the map. The problem is, though, you're going to lose, most likely, bottom tier 2. But at least you're able to trade when you're down instead of just giving a lot of things. Actually, Beetle unable to quite secure the turret, and Jaboy will be here for the next wave. So that doesn't quite go down. So, I mean, trading Dragon for tier 2 while you're down feels great. That is a little bit more gold onto Parmesan. Oh, and a great engage from Sevlin, noticing that the Draven just out here. Able to take down Draven, gets the shutdown. Beetle kind of going to be able to collapse here on Sevlin, who is in his base. Wait for it, finding the binding on a 4-fun player. And a great ultimate from Beetle. Finds 2. So like Camavor is falling very rapidly. Wait for it, trying to get away. Parmesan needing to flash on the top side of the fight as well. 4-fun player barely surviving here. Will eventually go down. Parmesan also goes down. Bishop on the back end, taking down Wait For It. Buffalo trying to get away here, has to flash over the wall. Still has exhaust, uses it onto Beetle. Running away as fast as he can, but he is knocked up. Oh, and a great stun there from Atomic. Although, at the same time, Jaboy able to get the bot turret, so even though they're down in people, they are able to secure 2 tier 2s there. The issue they may run into now, though, is they have no time to try to set up any vision for Baron. And this is a lot of time, potentially, for Shadow Isles to look up there. Let's see if they try to do anything. They may just accept that they're just going to get the mid-tier 1 here, and then maybe look for a recall. See how much money that they have. I mean, Beetle is sitting on 3,000 gold, and Atomic Ghost is sitting on 3,500 gold. So they both probably want to recall soon. Bishop sitting on 2,500 as well. I mean, their tempo is going to be quite a bit slower, actually, than Camavor here because of the gold that they're on. They don't really want to fight on this timer unless Beetle finds a great engage on a Wait For It. Doesn't have ultimate, though, so unable to finish anything off. And Sevlin is here. Beetle does have flash, though. Oh, but a great binding from Wait For It and a great stun from Sevlin, able to take him down. And this is on that Baron timer. Shadow Isle is taking their much-needed resets, but they may just be a bit too late. Jaboy at that bottom tier 2, or tier 3. He does have teleport, but so does Bishop. They may look to both teleport up to help with this Baron. Barrage engaged on by For Fun player. He's trying to zone for the Baron, which the Baron is likely very low here. It is. Oh, and Sevlin secures it. Trying to get away here. Wait for it. Oh, barely able to get away on one health. Buffalo will get stunned again by Atomic before he's able to quite get out. Wait for it goes down here, actually, on the top side. Very all over the place fight. Sevlin, though, will trade back for a For Fun player, and he's going to be able to just chase down Atomic, who has no team here. Sevlin still having the extra Baron stats. Neither top laner actually wanted to teleport to this Baron, which does kind of make sense. They are both the side laners, and as long as they don't see the other one teleporting, they don't feel entirely pressured. And maybe saving that teleport is a good idea. Sevlin DM'd me. And I don't know who won the game, but obviously someone just won. Bishop trying to apply pressure on the bot side here. Luckily, Sevlin able to give really cryptic messaging. I don't know what that is, but it is something. He said, "Oh wait, you casting, sorry." Sevlin able to deduce what's happening. Tai Lao trying to clear out the mid here. Looks like Camavor clearing out the Dragon Pit now. Looks like they're going to try to contest something here, but it is not. It's almost Dragon time, but a little bit early for the vision if they're going to put down the wards. They're just clearing things out. Sevlin trying to find anything on a For Fun player. Doesn't quite find it. Camavor walking around as 4 right now, looking for something. Bishop standing on vision. Oh! Barely, I think Wait For It barely missed the binding there to secure Bishop. Sevlin chasing down Atomic. Atomic able to bandage toss to the Raptors and gets away. Oh, Barrage tries to engage. That would have been great, but is unfortunately CC'd. Unable to quite get it. Jaboy on the side lane here versus Beetle. I mean, this is a great matchup for Yorick. Beetle taking a lot of damage at the front end here, trying to take down the Maiden. Atomic Ghost will be taken down here by the Wait For It binding. Beetle goes down here on the top side. For Fun player taking a lot of damage here in the fight. Parmesan able to get a reset here. We'll continue the fight. Sevlin able to take down Tai Lao on the side. And I believe we will see the end of the game here. Jaboy is almost in the base at this point. Sevlin still having that Baron buff. I believe Jaboy also has it, so I would imagine this is around when Sevlin messaged me. Respawn timer is going to be a little bit close, but it will only be Atomic up, who will likely not do enough damage to do anything. Oh, he won't even be up. They take these towers so quick, actually, especially with the Jinx passive. And Camavor, they take game 1. Well played for both teams. I really felt like that game was on the edge for a lot of it, to be honest. They are able to, though, pull off the victory at the very end. A lot of damage coming out here from both teams. Sevlin, though, is that accurate? Or is that a glitch? Sevlin did 30k. He did get Volibear. Volibear is very scary for Sevlin to get. But again, it's like the double-edged sword there, where you can take down his Volibear, you can ban it out, but he will just play his other comp champions, which he is also very good at. I think we are getting into the draft. Let me see if the link still works. I may need to switch to I think it will automatically update. I have down here, you guys can see I have the browser version. Right now, it's directly integrated into OBS. So I will just say R. I don't think the link changes. Sometimes it doesn't update for me, though. And the link, yeah, I don't think will change for game 2. I'm just going to hope it works. Oh, and they have started. And it does work. Okay, awesome. Camavor staying red side. I didn't catch who picked. Likely going to see the same bands coming out here. Although the Heimerdinger is gone. Maybe the idea was that they thought Wait For It was a Heimerdinger one trick, and they took away the Heimerdinger, and then they banned a bunch of other mids to make sure that there's no more champions in that pool. But, I mean, Wait For It in that game on Lux looked like a monster. I don't know if you can ban them out. Exact same bans. Looks like the Thresh Darius coming out again. Still not entirely sure the reasoning for that. I would imagine maybe it's previous booze bashes maybe, or champion mastery perhaps. First pick Morgana. Oddly enough, though, I think that in Shimmer that might be a triple flex where you can play it jungle, mid, or support. And if you're feeling brave, I suppose you could play it ADC. Camavor early on looking to pick the Jhin here with the Galio. Not sure. Again, Galio could be a flex also in Shimmer to support and mid. You can also play it top, but it's not great to blind. Let's see where they decide to put that. I would guess we may just see the defaults here where it's Morgana support and Galio support, but Galio into Morgana does not feel amazing. Shadow Isles here on their blue 2 pick. We'll go Sivir. Pretty good response to the Galio, and going to be able to scale very well into this game versus a Jhin who's not going to scale particularly well, especially in the 5v5 situations. Jhin able to supply some engage though, but they will probably want to look for DPS from another lane, especially if Shadow Isles goes a tankier comp in these last 3 picks. They will pick Hui. Pretty safe mid. Also going to be safe into the Galio, because Hui can push, make sure that Galio doesn't have prior to leave, and Hui can run away quite quickly if needed, and CC the Galio to make sure that he doesn't get knocked up. One problem, though, from Shadow Isles so far is that they have a pretty passive comp, and currently it's only Jhin locked in on damage for Camavor, so if Camavor decides to pick a longer range comp, like Xerath actually, Shadow Isles may kind of struggle to deal with this, because Xerath does outrange both Morgana and Hui. And if he gets ahead in this game, in the neutral fights, Camavor is going to feel amazing, because then you have to deal with the Jhin damage from the ultimate and W, and Xerath's entire kit outrange. And Galio is fantastic at peeling as well, so if Shadow Isles decides to go engage, they will need to find some way to get on Xerath through Galio, and getting through Galio is extremely difficult. Camavor reading this too. Hopefully they're not listening to the broadcast, but I mean, Ornn is a great ban because that stops them from locking in a way to engage onto the Jhin and Xerath. See what they ban out as well on the side of Shadow Isles on 4 here will be a Nocturne. I think a Nocturne is reasonable. Maybe you could see the Nocturne on 4, and you have the Sivir Hui, which are not great at getting away from Nocturne. But I almost feel like they would want the Nocturne more, but I suppose they would lose it on the 4th pick, and they wouldn't get it on their side. Camavor also banning Warwick. Another one of these engaged champions. Warwick going to have more problems, though, getting through that Galio. Shadow Isles banning Vi, interesting. So it looks like Shadow Isles is scared of an engage comp being played into them. But I think Camavor is pretty satisfied to just play range here so far. Camavor still lacking a little bit of damage, but I think that if you're able to space pretty well, they will be fine. Olaf on 4. Let's see if this is locked in. Olaf feels a little bit awkward to play. So the problem with Olaf here is that he's trying to run into Sivir, who is just very fast. Morgana has the spell shield also for Sivir, so she doesn't get slowed. Hui also going to be sped up by the Sivir ult if needed, and also has the own speed in his kit. And Olaf probably going to have to use ult pretty immediately in fights because of the Morgana. So Olaf likely going to be forced to walk in, but the problem there is that if he runs in, then he's leaving his Xerath, Galio, and Jhin behind most likely. And Galio can try to follow with ultimate, but Olaf doesn't really have a great way to get behind the team of Shadow Isles by himself to secure the Galio ult. Rakan coming out for Shadow Isles, which I think makes sense into the Galio and Olaf. Pretty good into both those picks. Also not going to be at too much threat or under too much threat in lane from the Jhin. Shadow Isles on 5. So their comp so far looking pretty disengage heavy with a decent amount of damage. They have Gangplank Rakan for frontline. I think that the Olaf looked a little bit sketchy. I think the Olaf looks much less sketchy now, though, because sure, he might struggle to catch the Sivir, but he will eventually catch someone in the game. And if that's not a tank, they will probably die pretty quickly, and they don't have a tank into the Jhin Xerath. And Jhin Xerath is going to shred. And the Mbessa locked in as well. Another one of these good frontliners who can double as an assassin in this specific game. I like Camavor's draft a lot, just the way it came out. I think Shadow Isles comp needs to play really passive and needs to play to peel. See if they're able to achieve anything on this side. In terms of lanes, though, mid lane, likely going to be pretty boring. Hui doesn't have a great way to get close enough to Xerath to do damage, and Xerath doesn't do an enormous amount of damage early. Hui may even build magic resist pretty early on here to just make sure that they survive the lane. Bot lane, also probably just going to be even as well. You have Jhin Galio into Sivir Morgana. Both sides don't really want to engage on the other, and both sides don't have great ways to poke down. Sure, Morgana can look for a good binding, but the problem is that if Morgana is able to lock someone down, that means Galio, if he's not the one CC'd, is going to be able to counter-engage. And if he's able to get them both into the taunt range, then they can't... I mean, they could spell shield each other, or like they could both spell shield themselves, but that's really difficult to do, especially if you're like in a fight where Jhin is also using W and everything. Top lane, I think top lane is really Mbessa favored, but I haven't actually seen this matchup. I haven't seen Gangplank played a whole lot, and Mbessa is normally not the stereotype of a champion that you would want to play Gangplank into, because Gangplank normally likes the tanks more. It is done. Trying to see if there is anything else interesting with how these comps will interact. I don't think there is honestly too much here. And the reason is both comps are just peel comps, and one of them has a front line and more range than the other one. Shadow Isles, I think they have a comp that will need to be ahead going into the late game, because they're playing into 3 melees. And they are effectively 5 range champions. Like, sure, they do have the... They do have Rakan and Gangplank, but they're both kind of fake melees where they function as ranged champions a lot of the time. I think Mbessa is such a great pick here, because you already have the Galio and the Olaf frontline. And given that you have that frontline, you don't need to lock in a tank really, and you're able to find this pick top, which is good in the counter matchup, but even more so, you can just function as an assassin, which in this game is going to feel extremely difficult for Shadow Isles to deal with. Who are the players not on Buffalo's team? I believe Asian Fool ran away. He is fearful of these two teams. They have a lot of power between the two of them. He wasn't sure if he could deal with it. Oh no, you've been meaning to say beetle. Uh-oh. Buffalo's team has Jaboy, wait for it, Sevlin, and Parmesan. They were able to take last game. Looks like Twitch chat is heavily in favor of Camavor here. I think last game, especially early on there, Sevlin really did slow that game down in a way that his team needed, even though I know Sevlin. I don't want to be biased here, but I think it's pretty safe to say that the reason that Parmesan was able to stay in the game as well as he was able to was because Sevlin cleared down so quickly and was able to be there and force the Draven off of the turret and off of that side of the lane, and has to kind of go all the way back to his side. And Sevlin was also able to get the Scuttle Crab and back, so his tempo is just incredibly high also on that second clear. I also completely forgot about the spectator delay. So I may go into Lodl now. I was unable to do it a second ago. I did not mean to go to the quote link. I'm so bad at Lodl. What is the 2020 champions? Released. It is ranged. This could be Vex. No, it's half human. Not from Noxus or Shurima. It's not Gwen. Gwen is melee. I just 2020. Oh, Seraphine. Is she just human? Is there? It might be Seraphine. I don't know if there's anyone else who's like a good pick here. It's definitely not Teemo. I will try Seraphine. Is this 2020? It is Seraphine. She's Magic Born. What is Magic Born? I thought Vex too, but Vex I think is just Yordle, not human. Is this Nocturne? Who else likes darkness? This sounds like a very haunting thing to say. Can guess Nocturne? It's probably not gonna. Nope, not Nocturne. Morgana maybe. Diana. Oh, Diana's good. It's probably Diana. Yeah. Got that moon. Usen would have been a good guess too. Oh, is this this is Oriana? Is this Command Shockwave? God, I don't know her pictures. Command Protect, I don't know, man. Oh, it's W for sure, right? I think. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I just saw the the lines around it. The circle reminded me of R, but obviously was not. We are going to be in game here soon, so unless I can get this in 1 second. Vex? Gwen? I don't know. Wait, Garen? Who is confusing? What does the first symbol mean? What? Oh, spinning. Ah. I see. Makes sense. Are in game here. Make sure that we have everything set up properly. Now the problem is, I know the keybinds to start, and I missed one of them, and I don't know which one I missed. So something might be wrong here. Doesn't look like anything is wrong.
seconds until minions spawn.
Gonna be a little scrap here on the top side. Bishop and Jaboy scrapping. Bishop able to find a pretty decent amount of damage here from the barrel and the passive. Jaboy not really wanting to take the fight. Another passive proc from Bishop. Takes the better part of that fight. I think it was the organizing thing I wanted to do. Ooh, Beetle being pretty aggressive here. Ooh, Sevlin misses the axe. That axe would have likely meant that Beetle had to flash. Just a little bit out of range. Unable to cross that gap, most likely, though. An aggressive start from Parmesan and Buffalo. Let's see how the mid lane goes, because this is one of those matchups which should be theoretically on the side of Xerath, but his stats are quite bad, to be honest, in terms of what most mid laners can do. So he has to land a lot more abilities than Beetle does. One Hui QQ maybe does like 1.5 or 2 Xerath Qs. This may be the most boring lane in the entire universe, bot lane here. Top lane, probably going to see some action this game. They are going to be pretty aggressive. Although, here it looks like Parmesan and Buffalo looking for an engage. We'll find it. A huge amount of damage early on 4Fun player, who will have to flash away. Tai Lao able to get away from this on full health. I think Parmesan and Buffalo won that fight, but the problem is, though, is that Tai Lao took 0 damage, and they don't actually have a great way to engage on him, so let's see if they're able to actually capitalize on 4Fun player being so low. Rakan also, of course, able to sustain here after level 3. Bishop and Jaboy still scrapping here up in the top lane. I'm really impressed, actually. What rank is Jaboy? I mean, that kind of spacing, and then engaging, trading the grass proc, and then disengaging is really good. That's difficult to do a lot of the time. Bishop also able to utilize the Gangplank passive pretty well here. Oh, Xerath lanes are fun. Does not look like Beetle is going to have the most enjoyable time right now. And again, Jaboy just taking really good fights, and Bishop is out of mana. Will struggle probably to survive in lane too long. Probably going to have to look for an early recall. If Jaboy lets that wave bounce back, it's very difficult to play. Oh, Beetle taking so much damage from Wait For It. Wait For It doing a decent amount of damage here, by the way, because of the Comment and Scorch. And once he hits 5, 7, and 9, those are the times when his Q is going to do more and more damage. So he is going to ramp up pretty early. Beetle taking so much damage here early that he can't really pressure Wait For It now with any trades back. Good part of Hui, though, is that Hui is able to clear waves relatively quickly, so if he doesn't want to interact with Xerath, he doesn't necessarily have to too much. He will need to dodge the Qs, though. And in the bot lane, we are back to incredibly boring. Both sides basically perfectly even. Sevlin looking for a kill on a Bishop here. Bishop has flash. Doesn't use it quite yet. It's going to be slowed again here in a second. Does try to flash away. Oh, in a great fear from Beetle. Able to get Bishop out. Oh, Bishop's still taking a lot of damage from Wait For It, who is unable to quite find that damage. Bishop is going to have to TP back here. And Jaboy actually lost, I think, a wave under turret for that. So, all things considered, not bad for Bishop. Back here in the bot lane, we are still seeing how boring we can be. Oh, an auto. And a Q. Whew. A lot is going to happen down here. I think the Morgana first pick makes a lot of sense too, if you're going to flex it into the jungle, if your support is willing to play it. It can be flexed mid, but the matchup is a little bit dependent. You normally want to see it into melees or something that don't have great ways to engage. 4Fun player, just sustaining. Oh, Buffalo Barrage looking for engage. Does find the E, so it breaks the Sivir spell shield. Sivir, taking a decent amount of damage, does have to barrier. Just an ignite for barrier trade in the end, and they're both still pretty even in health, to be honest. For Fun player landing a lot of Qs, though, keeping Tai Lao pretty healthy. Wait for it actually coming back mid with no mana item. What if the idea behind that is to use the Xerath passive to sustain? Jaboy, looking for an ult on Atomic Ghost here. But the spell shield comes out. Very good reaction, actually. Looks like Camavor able to secure the first dragon here. Sevlin still having pretty high tempo. Atomic Ghost seeing if there's anything to do in this top jungle, but will not find anything. This is something that Sevlin does really well, is doing things with the timers and then specifically looking for the timers. So they're making sure the top jungle is done, bottom jungle is done, and then using the timer that he has and to finish bot. If that wasn't the case, then the top jungle would have been up and maybe Dragon dies a little bit sooner, but honestly, wouldn't have impacted that much, and Morgana probably would have found red buff there. Not red buff, or Raptors and the Krugs. Jaboy and Bishop taking pretty heavy trades here. They both, I think, want jungle help at this point. I think it would be pretty impactful for them. And both junglers will probably struggle to find too much bot. It is a Jhin and Sivir, so they don't have dashes or anything, but both are pretty fast, have ways to avoid it, and both teams are able to stay pretty healthy here in the bot lane. Bishop finding a lot of Qs on Jaboy right now, who actually takes a trade back. Bishop takes a tower shot. And Beetle actually able to stand their ground mid, get this wave in, and wait for it is quite low at this point. They are sitting on even gold too, so wait for it doesn't actually have an advantage. Wait for it decided to build the Codex and boots instead of going for Lost Chapter. I think maybe the idea was that you don't need Lost Chapter because the passive and you're finding a lot of autos, but as the Hui is able to do more damage. Oh, and Jaboy fighting Bishop here. Jaboy, just misses R. I want to find it, but Sevlin is here. Bishop no flash. Sevlin ults to make sure the slow doesn't hit, and is able to get through. So, in the mid here, when you avoid Lost Chapter like this, you're probably going to have mana issues. And that's kind of what we saw from Wait For It, especially on a very mana-hungry champion like Xerath. And if you're avoiding a lot of skill shots before then maybe, you think you can auto through Beetle. But Beetle now is landing a lot. And Wait For It drops a wave there, leading to back, and still does not buy a mana crystal. Maybe did not have gold for it. Shadow Isles able to get full grubs again. But I think Camavor pretty comfortable with this, as they have a lot of power here with the kills and the dragon. An attempted engage there from For Fun player. Almost finds it. Wait For It. Likely would have had to flash if that did hit. Boy, look. Ooh, good kill on the barrel there. Finds two of them. Gets a little bit damage back, but not too much. Bishop just using these Qs over and over again. Finds a lot of damage. The problem is, on Ambessa in these lanes, you kind of have to find really good all-in moments. And if you're unable to find them earlier, then you're going to be too low to take all-ins later. It's kind of the problem that Jaboy is running into now. Although, Tai Lao out of position. Will get taunted, actually. Unable to spell shield it. 1 health. Will Parmesan look for a... Nope, we'll just look for the ultimate. First is spell shielded. Oh, and will go down to the 4th Jhin ult shot. Jaboy looking for a fight here on Bishop. Is really low, though. Has ultimate coming up soon, so I think we're going to see an all-in here. Top. Sevlin trying to secure Krugs here. Will do so for fun. Unable to contest in a meaningful way. Wait for it recalling. Bishop is taking quite a bit of damage from this turret. Jaboy is probably in all-in range, but they both have to play it really well for to win. It's not free for either of them. Jaboy recalling? No, okay. We'll cancel it. For fun, walks into the bush Sevlin's in. I don't think realizing that they are being blocked by Sevlin's body. Probably going to see a dragon fight coming up soon here. Sevlin going to clear down again, most likely. And again, both top laners really low. May look for TP's bot, to be honest, if they want to recall. And Beetle actually a little bit low here, mid now. As Wait For It has more ability power and does not have to recall. Beetle going to need to teleport back if they want to contest this dragon. Will teleport back, but will not have prio. Wait For It, though, pretty low on mana. Still no lost chapter. Actually, Wait For It is building... I do not remember the name of the item. It's the 2,750 gold one that gives you 125 AP. It reveals enemies that you hit from far away. I'm not sure why we're building that. And engaged here from For Fun. Finds 2 charms. Sevlin, though, just on the backline, takes down Atomic. Backed up here by Buffalo. Sevlin will just keep going here. Is CC, doesn't have the ultimate anymore, but is able to take down For Fun. Tai Lao stuck in the middle here now. Does not look to try to trade, tries to get away, but Sevlin able to take them down. And now we have the trade here in the top lane. Bishop does not have mana anymore, flashes out of the barrel. Bishop trying to flash to get away, but will actually be able to. Jaboy used ult and flash in that fight, so now doesn't have a great way to get on Bishop. But Bishop has no mana, and Bishop will try to fight, but is unable to find quite enough damage. Jaboy able to get away. That's through the Scorch and the passive. Looked a bit scary there for a second, but takes the W there in the top lane. Now, if we look at the gold, top is dead even. And there's actually a huge gold difference in this game. Jungle has 2,000 gold difference there now. And that does make sense, though. Sevlin does have 4 kills and is 30 CS up. The tempo Sevlin showing right now is pretty intense. Able to be effectively all over the map. Sevlin again, probably looking to clear down. Atomic clearing up, which honestly I think makes sense. I think all of Atomic's camps were up, and you probably want to clear now for this gangplank. Trying to gank bot's going to be hard, especially now that Sevlin is so strong. You know Sevlin's clearing down. You don't even know how hard you win the 3v2, but 3v3 you definitely lose. So clearing up, trying to take that Mbessa down, who's been low for a lot of this game, does make sense. And more than that, too, the Mbessa's been quite aggressive. The trade here on the top lane. Bishop getting quite a bit of damage down. For Fun player looking for an engage. Finds a knock-up on both of them, but unable to capitalize too much on that. And then a huge lash out from Parmesan there. Jaboy with a huge trade on a Bishop who loses a decent amount of health, but Atomic is here on the top side of the map. Herald spawning in 50 seconds. Buffalo finds another engage on Tai Lao. Tai Lao spell shields, but doesn't quite catch anything. A counter engage from For Fun. Parmesan is 1 health, has to barrier. Tai Lao trying to engage, but doesn't quite get away. And Sevlin is here, has ultimate. Tai Lao will go down here, and For Fun player trying to get away, but won't be able to. Parmesan able to secure another hit on the 4th shot. And now on the side of Shadow Isles, their bot lane is going to feel really tough to play. They're going to lose their tower here, and most like... pretty heavy trades here in the mid lane, trading Hoi ultimate, but doesn't quite connect. Zeroth ultimate coming down. Does not look like able to connect everything. I do have the keybinds for the people as well if I need to trade it. I was hoping the camera would not like leave that, but I guess Beetle able to get away, so that's why the camera didn't want to watch it. Bishop trying to get some damage on Jaboy before Herald here. Oh, a great engage from Jaboy just when Sevlin arrives. Even if he goes down, it feels fine, but he won't go down. Bishop, wow, a great engage, honestly, from Sevlin and Jaboy there. The timing is what matters, not necessarily the CC, because even though Atomic uses the ultimate, it's honestly not that impactful. When you have 2 melees like that in your face, especially, like, you just don't you need kind of space to work there, unless you have Zonias maybe. But before then, again, like that's when, for example, an Ornn would have felt really good, but Ornn was out of the game. It was banned in the second rotation there. Beetle able to get Prio mid. Feels pretty good actually about getting Prio here. Test vision a little bit. And this is why Hui Nazirath feels actually pretty good for Hui. Able to just clear this wave, does not need to interact too much. Trades back some damage. Let's look at the gold again. The gold difference in the jungle. Still around 3,000. Beetle actually 400 gold ahead of mid, but that is really the only advantage they have on the map. 1,000 gold difference between support and ADC as well. Shadow Isle is going to need to perform a miracle here to turn, but the thing that they really have going for them is they do scale really well as a team, as individual champions, so maybe able to find something as this game goes on. For a fun player, looking for a gauge on Wait For It. Wait For It has to flash away. It's going to be able to get away. And remember here, Wait For It was actually banned 3 times in the first half, and is still able to lock in the Xerath and perform well. So I'd say Wait For It doing pretty well in these games. Also did well last game on that Lux pick. Jaboy taking a fight on Bishop, but For Fun Player and Atomic Ghost are both here. Trying to do anything, unable to find anything. Atomic Ghost's bot side is up. Trying to cheat this timer did not pay off, unfortunately, and Jaboy able to still apply pressure here to Bishop, who now does not have his team with him, and Jaboy knows that on the side of Camavor, they are bot side. So Jaboy able to look for an engage. Atomic and Beetle walking through vision. Bishop having to back. And Jaboy able to get Prio here. Bishop doesn't have teleport. Rift Herald mid, but I don't think this will actually do anything. I'm not sure if this will hit tower. It will not. Looks like it was just a trade for Mountain Drag, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think Shadow Isles wanted anything to do with this drag anyway. Ooh. Bishop trying to defend the tower, unable to find too much. Jaboy having to flash away. Bishop trying to catch. Will not find too much. Jaboy trading some damage back there. Ooh, Wait For It. Able to find a sneaky Q there. Will get ulted by Beetle. Wait For It. Oh, almost going down. No flash quite. Beetle looking for that final QW. Unable to finish off Wait For It. Camavor able to get this bot tier 1. And the tempo of the game is about to increase a lot. They have a massive lead right now. And they want to spread it out to the rest of the map. Sevlin doing so much damage at this point in the game. Able to clear so fast now. Look at this tempo now. If you compare Sevlin and the ability to clear to Atomic, Morgana can struggle to clear sometimes anyway. But when you're up against an Olaf who's strong like this, the Olaf could just clear monstrously fast. Wait For It. All chat tilted that they get banned out. I told them you weren't worth it from Bishop. Wow. Fighting words from Bishop. Bishop and Jaboy going at it again here in the top side. Jaboy this time able to secure that ultimate. For Fun Player here to peel. They try to find something on Jaboy, unable to find anything. Beetle's still in this game and honestly able to be an anchor right now on the side of Shadow Isles. Able to clear waves, make sure the towers they're defending do not go down. And because of that, the lead right now from Camavor is slowed down just a little bit, but you have to defend this bot tier 2, and Sevlin is waiting here on the side. Tai Lao realizes does have flash, does have barrier, does have spell shield still. Has to barrier. Unable to do anything. I mean, Sevlin is monstrously strong again. In the tempo, like we just saw him doing Raptors, and he's just waiting behind bot tier 2. They're trying to find actually damage onto him. They know he doesn't have ultimate, but unable to find too much, and Bishop, For Fun Player, now caught out. Sevlin low, no ultimate, although Bishop goes down and does not look like they will be able to find anything here. Sevlin barely staying alive, but able to lifesteal through the damage that Beetle tried to do. Atomic now trying to get away. And that will be an unofficial ace. They barely missed the timer for that, and Tai Lao is now the only one alive and has to defend a lot here. Camavor attacking 2 turrets and Otacon. Tai Lao decides to defend that top tier 3, which is probably the best decision. Parmesan barely unable actually to get that bot tier 2. And Tai Lao will be able to cover it by the next wave, but on most likely no one will try to go for it. The lead is certainly not getting smaller at all. There's now a 10,000 gold difference here at 20 minutes. And Camavor here is on soul point. That soul spawning in a minute 20. Now, will Atomic be able to find that space to be able to look for the smite? The team on the side of Shadow Isles doesn't have a great way, honestly, to make space for that kind of play. And Atomic does not have Zonias yet, or Arm Guard. So it won't be able to just like cheat go in and look for the smite later. It has to actually force their way through, and it's pretty unlikely they'll be able to go in earlier because on the side of Camavor, they're able to hold space so well and play vision that if anybody, honestly, on the side of Camavor is there and Shadow Isles tries to walk in, they're going to be in serious danger. Camavor now looking for this bot tier 2. Buffalo hovering here as Jaboy pressuring these waves in. Wait for it is probably going to get dove here. It looks like Shadow Isles is going to give the soul. Wait for it trying to flash out. Probably won't be able to get out. Is charmed by 4 Fun. Now, this will probably be Dragon. Beetle going to go down mid as well, most likely. Soul point here. Or Soul spawning on the side of Camavor. Camavor likely going to secure it. They are able to get the top turret here, the tier 1, and they're able to shut down Wait for it, but you have to ask, you know, is that worth it? It honestly might be, just because getting this dragon looks so helpless, but are you going to be able to actually fight them? Are you going to actually be able to get through this Mountain Soul? And honestly, I don't know if they can. They really need Tai Lao to be strong, but he just not going to be strong enough at the moment. Jaboy now looking to take the 1v1. Tries to flash R, but Bishop flashes out of it. Bishop looking to get the tier 2. Oh, will barely get it. Does go down. Wait for it, securing that kill from spawn. Now, the side lanes before is it looked like Bishop and Jaboy going pretty even in the fights, but Jaboy now has that Mountain Soul. So I wonder if Bishop is maybe going to build Serpent's Fang, but that feels awkward at this point for Gangplank because you want to finish that Infinity Edge, and you also want to build Armor Pen. So maybe last item, but last item normally you look for an item to give you a little bit more survivability. And you don't have another person on the team really that can build Serpent's Fang super well. And on the side of Camavor, they have a lot of shields at this point now. They have the Galio, they have the Mbessa, obviously, and then they have the Mountain. Does not look like Atomic is allowed to have any of his jungle. It will all be taken away. Atomic looking to get anything, any gold, will get this top wave. Wait for it. Also on this timer pushing down these bot waves, and Shadow Isle's going to have to look for a play. Looks like they will go for something mid. Parmesan and Buffalo, though, able to just walk away. Sevlin is here, almost goes for it, but doesn't quite, which is a great call, because Wait for it is now on this bottom tier 2. Looks like all of Shadow Isle is trying to rotate down. Wait for it, able to just walk away. Now we see the Baron spawn, and Camavor obviously heavy control over the top side. Tai Lao tries to use the ultimate to catch Wait for it here on the side, but Wait for it is just a little bit too far. And they will give Baron for that play, but again, given that Sevlin was in the top jungle there, it's so difficult for them to walk in. Atomic still trying to clear these waves, and now you're going to run into a problem, because even though you have Gangplank, Sivir, and Morgana, and Hui, who are all great at clearing these waves, through the Baron. It's going to be hard, especially when Sevlin is on the map, and Sevlin could just run people down under turrets. Wait for it. Will recall. At the same time, Jaboy will. They both have teleport. Now, how will they utilize this Baron? They could 5 mid. However, it looks like Jaboy will go top. And wait for it, will go bot. They're actually going to take resets here. I think this Baron tempo is going to feel a little bit slow. I think they're finishing items right now. Not a terrible idea. But you want to make sure you get something done with the Baron, because your team is not great at sieging. It is pretty good with the Xerath, but you're against so much wave clear that you want to make sure that this Baron is utilized so you can keep a wave alive under turret, and then maybe you can look for a dive with Sevlin and Jaboy. Looks like they are looking to take down the mid tier 2. But they're unable to contest too much. Sevlin doing the wolves here, but Jaboy and wait for it pushing the sides right now. Shadow Isle staying a bit out of vision. Although Atomic showed on the map here that will give a little bit of pressure for wait for it, as now he can walk up closer to that turret. I don't think they knew exactly where Atomic was. Camavor able to take down this mid tier 2. Shadow Isles doesn't really have a great way to defend it if Sevlin is here. Sevlin now looking bot, and Beetle needs to be careful. Sevlin has ultimate still. Beetle trying to get away, has to flash away, and then the ultimate from Buffalo. For Fun will also go down. Sevlin is just absolutely unstoppable, barely takes any damage from that pretty long tower dive. Parmesan now looking to take mid. And Jaboy will push in the next wave top as well. This bottom tier 2 is going to go down. And they still kind of need 3, honestly, to defend the mid here, because I think that just Morgana and Sivir might lose. They won't lose the fight necessarily, but they won't be able to stop Parmesan from getting a few autos in. And it won't take that many autos from Jhin, honestly, to take the turret down. Bishop used ultimate on the bot wave, but the tower is down. Won't have that for the fight coming up. That is, if Camavor even wants to fight. They did just get a bunch on the map. They have Elder spawning in 50 seconds. Parmesan really caught out, though. And engaged for Fun, able to instantly blow him up. But Sevlin is here. Sevlin looking to 1v4. Tai Lo takes out a lot of damage. Sevlin able to take him down and is trying to walk away. Will not be able to do too much. And Bishop just got that 1,000 gold shutdown. This is 30 seconds before Elder. Jaboy teleporting in. It looks like they're going to try to end the game here before it spawns. Oh, a great attempt at a stun from wait for it. Bishop trying to chase them down. Has not spent... Oh, did spend the 1,000 gold. Is able to finish the Infinity Edge with it. Big power spike for Bishop. The gold differences here are not too insane, to be honest. They are quite high, but considering that the team gaps are 12k, you'd rather this gold difference being evenly distributed like it is, rather than, for example, like wait for it or Parmesan being ahead by 10,000 or something insane. The biggest gold difference, I believe, is still in the jungle at 4,000, but won't be too impactful. Wait, for Fun player probably just instantly going down. I'm trying to walk into the Elder to get vision, but unable to do anything. Jaboy now in a huge fight. 2v4 here, actually. Jaboy and Buffalo look unstoppable together. It will take down Tai Lao. And that will look like it, that looks like it will be game pretty easily. These death timers are pretty long. I think it makes a lot of sense, though, what Shadow Isles try to do at the end. You can't give that Elder because you are, of course, all under turret, and you know, you're playing against Xerath Jhin, and if they get Elder, you can't really do too much. That will be the game. Camavor taking this one. I think well played from both teams there. Bishop getting that power spike just a little bit too late to do too much with it. but still feels, I think, pretty competitive up until the last moments there. The damage here, looking pretty surprising, actually. I thought Sevlin, last game Sevlin did 30k, and I thought this game that Sevlin was going to do a lot more damage than everyone else in the game, but just about on par with Jaboy and Wait For It. But part of that is probably how much they were fighting top lane, and then mid lane you have Xerath, so Xerath able to get a lot of damage down. Bishop doing the most damage on the side of Shadow Isles, which makes sense. Again, they were trading a lot top, and then as the game went on, able to get that big shutdown. Doesn't result in anything more, though. Would either of the captains like to join? See if there's any more interesting stats. I'd be a little bit surprised if there was. That game did not feel. I'd also like if the the stats thing worked.
What's going on?
Hello. I did not know you were captain. This is Jaboy,
I am the captain of Camavor. That is correct.
the one and only. How did you feel about that game?
Um, Felt really good. I think we had a clearer identity this week than last week. Last week was the first time we all played together. So we were kind of figuring some stuff out, and then we kind of switched our draft around a little bit this week. Tried some stuff out, and fortunately it worked. So I think it was a good 2 games. So we're feeling pretty good after that.
That was a lot of trading you guys had in the top lane. Did you feel like it was always a knife's edge in that lane there where it could have gone either way? Or did you feel like you had it in the bag in the lane?
No, I was worried the whole time. I don't know what was going to happen.
That
I
level
kept
one
trading
looked
and
pretty
hoping.
scary too, to be honest. The level one, I thought
Oh
you were
yeah, in
for
the
sure going to
bush.
be able to take him down, but the barrels in the passive reset for Gangplank there made it look pretty close.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't really sure who was going to win the level one when I started it, and then yeah, the passive resets kept going off, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna vacate this."
Was there any mention of the tempo that your team was playing? Because this game, your tempo as a team overall was just really high. As the game went on, you were just taking towers so quick, able to get to basically every neutral objective on spawn. Your entire jungle was basically always dead, and every lane had someone picking up the CS. Was there any like coordination there to make sure that could happen?
Yeah, that was actually so we shout out to Sevlin for that. He was kind of our in-game lead on the macro there on getting us moved around ahead of objectives, getting stuff cleared out, lanes pushed. And I think that was a big part of why we were actually set up to like win those fights and like have pressure in lanes. And with the game one too of like towards the end of the game, I was splitting top on that last dragon fight and getting those waves to kind of line up with the pressure that we were playing on dragon. That was all. He was moving us around, so it was going really good. So props to my jungler for that.
I think I also think he played it really well. Who called for you guys to flip the map in that first game there? It looked like you guys gave a dragon in a 4v5 situation, then decided to take the top tier two. Uh, what kind of call was that like?
Which one did I take the tier two? Was that me? I'm trying to remember what.
You guys were walking up, and then it looked like you guys decided against taking the dragon fight. It was 4v5. I don't remember who died, but someone had died just before it, and Sevlin walked directly top, pinged the top camps, decided or they were just down, so then pinged the top tier two, and someone
Oh yeah,
else was
yeah.
there to take it.
So one of us, yeah, we had one of us go down, right? That's what it was.
Yeah,
So as soon as we lost, we went down in numbers. Yeah, we just swapped and we basically applied pressure elsewhere before we just gave the dragon there. That was exactly the call.
I was really impressed by that kind of coordination from your team, honestly. Like it looked like you guys kind of had an idea of what you always wanted to do. And especially this early on in a tournament like this with first time teams, I think that that's not really something you see a bunch. So definitely props to you guys for being able to execute that game that well.
Yeah, I've got to give a big shout out to my team. I know a few of us have played together before, and a few of us have not. So it's been a lot of fun so far, and I think Team chemistry is getting pretty good. We definitely all get along well. We were laughing, we were having a good time too, even when things weren't going 100% correct. So I think that was a big part of tonight. Was we all kind of stayed in good spirits and kept flipping stuff.
Yep, it
And
really looked like you guys were
for
happy,
opportunity.
actually.
Yeah, it's yeah, it was good. It was laughs to be had and games to be won today.
Okay. Well, thank you for the
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah, thanks for casting.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I think I am going to end it here. A very solid game here from both teams. Camavor looking pretty solid here going into week 3. Make sure you catch that. And the next game, let me make sure I know when it is here. On Sunday, will be Piltover versus the Void. I'm not sure if another game will happen before then, but I think that will be the next game that happens. So make sure you catch that, and I will see you guys next time I cast.